Hey y'all, excuse me. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you taking time out of y'all's busy schedule. Stop in and see what it is I'm up to. It is 8 o'clock, Tuesday, the 23rd of May, 2023. It is, I thought I had this open. It's a gorgeous evening, is what it is. 24C, 74F, 86% humidity. Cloudy, overcast, stormy clouds, but a nice, like there's a nice breeze blowing through here off the river. A couple of things I wanted to talk about. One's really gotten into my crawl, but we'll get to that in a minute. I had an idea. Like I found this little park on the other side. I'm parked under the Acosta Bridge right now on the south side. I was looking at where the train bridge came across, and there's parks over there. I was like, okay, that's cool. And I Googled it and found maps to get over there and whatnot. And it looked like there was all kinds of parking. I got over there and it's all private parking for CSX. You can't get near the parks. Tried coming in from the other side. You can't get to the parks. You can get to the park if you walk on the river walk, which is just what it says. It's all along the edge of the river walk. There's also a place down there called Locks of Love. It's a bridge. It's a walking bridge that goes over the railroad tracks. On or beside the Riverwalk. I thought that might be cool. Again, I can't get to it with a convenient parking spot. The CSX is got the parking area all locked up. You can't get back there. And from the other direction, it's a bit of a walk, and it's a steep climb up that bridge. I can do one or the other. And I'm not really too sure about the steep climb, but I would try it because coming back down would be fun. But I had intended to go over there, have my dinner, do this video or two videos or a couple of videos or something. So I got started. I had everything taken outside, getting ready to make my sandwich up. It started raining. All right, I got everything back inside, made the sandwich up. I'm like, that's not going to stop me. I'm still going to get out there. And I didn't let it stop me that I couldn't get to the park that I wanted to go to. I went down to the Riverside Art Market, which is under the Fuller Warren Interstate 95 bridge. And it's a nice area. I've been there a time or two. No real place to sit and eat. Like there's no tables. There's benches. When I got set up, I got a couple of shots of my dinner. But it was windy. I mean, it's a nice breeze here. We're just on the other side of the river, and it's facing a little different. So the wind was stronger. It was blowing my bag of chips around and my bag of pickles around. Just, all right, this is not going to work. I ended up eating in the car, and then trying to find a neat spot to actually do this video, which again is coming out a little later than usual, but or a little later than it is when I'm headed to the daughter's house or son's house or something. So I don't want to get political. I've tried staying away from politics. The NAACP posted a travel advisory that slapped me right in the face. Now, I am not a minority race by any means, unless fat old men are a minority, fat old white men. But I don't have any animosity towards black people in general. I interact with them all the time. If black is the wrong adjective, I'm sorry. I see them all the time in stores. I say thank you, please, excuse me. Somebody holds the door for me. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. The other evening, there was a person of shorter stature who couldn't reach the yogurt. I think it was yogurt, rice pudding, something at Dollar Tree. And I asked if I could help, and I helped her get him down. I don't need any accolades for that. That's just being human, If I'm walking through a store and there's something down on the bottom shelf, I'll ask somebody to pick it up for me because I know if I bend over, I'm going to get lightheaded getting back up. And most times people don't have a problem doing it. I don't have a problem if somebody asks me to get something down off of a higher shelf, or I can, I'll volunteer. So I don't have any problem with people in general, and people of African heritage or Latino heritage, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Mexican. I don't care. People are people. We all bleed red. And then they also said that Florida was a bad place for those of the LBGQT whatever community. And again, that's a direct attack on me and most of the people that I know. We don't care. I've got friends that have alternative lifestyles. Two ladies, two men, two guys that dress up in furry costumes. I don't care. Mixed races and and same gender. If that's your thing, I don't care. If we're friends, we're friends. I don't care what you do in the bedroom. I don't care. And this whole thing is coming down because of what the governor did with the DEI, discriminatory, whatever it is. He basically banned it in public schools and in government buildings. And people are, all up in arms. Like, how can you ban this? And it's, an attack on free speech? No. The taxpayers voted for that. They didn't want that. They voted for the bill against it. And the legislature and the governor made it a law. But it's not banned. It's only banned in schools and government places that are funded by taxpayer money. If you want to teach the DEI program, open a school and fund it without taxpayer money. Go right ahead. You probably won't have a whole lot of people from Florida attending, but there it is. And they're also saying that Florida is attacking the gay community because they're taking away parental rights to treat their kids or to give their kids the medical help that they think they need, but not if it harms the kid. It's like withholding chemo from a cancer patient. The state will step in and say, we're going to abridge your parental rights in this case, and the patient gets the help that he or she needs. And it's pretty much the same thing. Florida does not say you cannot have a gender reassigning surgery as long as you are not a minority, or not a majority. If you are not a minor. If you are of age to make that decision legally, you can do whatever you want. But a 5-year-old doesn't even really know what he wants on his sandwich for lunch, let alone what gender he wants to be. Or a 9-year-old, or an 11-year-old. They think they do, but 4, 5, 6 years down the road, is that going to be what they still want? They can wait. It may seem like an eternity to them. To the rest of us, 10 years is a blink of the eye. I got a friend's daughter who graduated from high school the other day. And it seems like yesterday that she was just pregnant with her. It doesn't seem possible that that girl is 17 years old already. So for some people, and sure for her, those 17 years seemed, to take forever. For some of us, it was a blink of the eye. For those of us who have danced at their child's wedding, they know how quick a child grows up. It's a blink of the eye. So when the NAACP and the LGBTQ plus society got together and put a travel ban advisory on Florida, calling us terrorists, that we hate people of alternative lifestyles, we hate people of color, and it's just outright lies. I mean, you go to South Florida and you have people of color running businesses that are employing 10, 20, 30 people, 100 people. There are people in the LGBTQ community running restaurants and clothing stores and all kinds of stuff. And people don't care. They don't care that you identify as this or that or the other thing. If you've got good food, they're going to come in. We're not terrorists down here. We don't really care. Nobody's going to ask when you come walking into the store what your preferences are in the bedroom. We don't care. For the majority. Oh, there's bigots out there that can't accept that it's a reality, but they're a minority, as far as I know, because I don't have to deal with either, with any of it. But I've got friends here locally. Plus, I've got relatives in South Florida that have an alternative lifestyle. My brother and my niece. It's just, anyway. Like I said, I don't want to get political about it, but that chaps me. That really did. That they can come in and spread lies like that, and for what? A political move? All right, enough of that. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, I watched this channel, Edison Motors, and I've been watching him for, I guess, a year or so. They're out of British Columbia. The dude is a logger, And he got together with a bunch of other mechanics and local engineers, excuse me, and they built an electric drive semi-truck. In under a year, they had a prototype up and running. There's big name companies that had said that they had an electric big rig, but it didn't work. It had to roll down a hill. It didn't work. It didn't have its own drives. So they put this prototype together, and now they're building a prototype of one that they will sell. The original prototype was more of they took an old Peterbilt, I think it was an old Peterbilt, and they put electric drive motors in it, and it's got a smaller diesel motor as a generator to help keep the batteries charged. But it's basically just like a train locomotive. It's electric powered with a diesel generator. Excuse me. And I forget what it was, but it's like a quarter of the emissions of a regular diesel truck. And he was talking the other day about how they had to source, they couldn't source the electric drive axles from here in the United States because the companies that make them don't want to be known to make retrofit kits. And Edison Motors is not an original equipment manufacturer. They're doing prototypes and retrofits. So the American companies, the North American countries or companies, wouldn't sell him these drive motors and axles, thinking maybe that it would put him out of business. I mean, that was basically what he said. And he was kind of like, no, here, hold my beer. And went to China and ordered everything that he needed. Now he's got these drive axles. And he said that even if you go, like when you start looking at the ones that are manufactured in the United States or in North America, they're using Chinese components. Is that ding, ding, ding coming for a train? Oh no, they're working on the bridge. Okay, they're closing the bridge down. Where was I? Oh yeah, most of the components from the American or the North American manufacturers were Chinese parts, just assembled here in North America. So instead of like making him reconsider and not do the build, they made him a competitor because now he is importing drive units for big rigs, electric drive units, and he'll be a North American supplier. So one of the things he was talking about, and I think is really cool, he's building a lot of, he's a logger in British Columbia, and that's what he has in mind, is building these electric trucks to go logging because they give you more torque and they're safer and etc. And then he mentioned something about putting them on the trailer as well, and that just kind of blew my mind. Excuse me. I'm thinking if you got a tractor, a big rig, and it's got a decent sized generator in it, maybe larger than the one that he's got in his prototype, but you're driving 3 axles on that tractor. The front axle, 2 rear axles, or 3 rear axles. And then you're driving 2 axles on the trailer. And you're driving 2 axles on the trailer behind that. And those trailers are steer by wire, remote control type thing. Imagine how sharp of a turn you could make coming down a mountain or trying to get through city traffic if your trailer was powered and could steer around the turn. That's a train. There is all kinds of electric vehicles out there. Hang on, I'm going to cut this off and I'll finish up in a minute. I'm going to get a shot of this train, hopefully. Alright, that was just two locos heading over the bridge. Which is, that's one reason why I wanted to get over there and be on that walkway over the train bridge. To get a shot like that. I thought it'd be cool. I have to figure out some way to do it. But anyway, where was I? There's a lot of controversy over electric vehicles. Charging them and this, that, and the other thing. And most of them are just super, super expensive. Don't have a whole lot of range, etc., etc. In many cases, I mean, if they made one, a small one, kind of like the Prius. The Prius was a great little vehicle. I wouldn't mind having one, or something similar to it. A small around town van that was either all electric, with a 200, 300, 400 mile range, or a hybrid with electric and a small diesel motor or gas motor, or even just like a bunch of solar panels on the roof. I'd be good with that. So, but technology hasn't reached that point yet, I don't think. And again, the charging is a problem and whatnot. But I am all for this electric type stuff. A lot of it is really super cool. There's all kinds. There's electric bulldozers, cranes, backhoes, and they've got Caterpillar's got an entire charging system. It runs off a diesel engine, but it can charge 4 different pieces of equipment and give them a charge that'll last them all day in an hour and a half or 2 hours. So instead of running those 4 pieces of equipment with diesel engines for 8 hours a day, you're running one diesel engine for 2 hours. That's a big savings. That's a big savings on fuel. It's a good savings on pollution. It's and if the electric engine, the electric bulldozer doesn't have enough oomph, you got a diesel bulldozer backup. But from what I've seen, those electric bulldozers are bulldozers. So anyway, by the time I piece this all together, it's going to be a long one. So let me know what you think, folks. Give me a thumbs down, thumbs up, leave me a comment. Wherever it is y'all leave comments on your internet access device of choice. If you'd like to share me around your social media, that'd be fandoculous. If your loved ones are nearby, give them a kiss and a hug. If they're not, give them a call. Hit them up on Facebook. Let them know you think about them. Let them know you love them. We ain't promised tomorrow, people. We ain't promised our next breath. So I see y'all again. I hope you have a fandoculous day. Watch y'all.